Hi, you guys. How's it going? So today, wow, honestly, I've noticed this is my third video this week, or normally I'll wait till like Sunday, Monday to post. I'll film over the weekend, but you know what? Why not? I have said it twice that I have been enjoying vlogging and this is a good outlet for me to yap and yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you about my day today. I went out with my cousin. We had all you can eat sushi, and normally I think like all you can eat or buffet style sushi is kind of, but this wasn't a buffet. It was all you can eat. Amazing quality. The place is called Sushiyama. Um, More like sushi yummy. Anyway, it was really good. We had sashimi with different like just prepared differently and I think we had like 5 rolls of sushi, not each, but all together. Still, that's a lot. As well as a big bowl of edamame. I had the miso soup. We had 2 orders of spring rolls, fried cheesecake, ice cream. We went at it. And then right after that, it's next to Fun Spot. So we took a long walk to Fun Spot. Just what we went around. I think that was good for us because literally we ate so much. Then walked to kind of digest everything, but then rode a roller coaster, which was sick. Like I didn't expect. It's insane because I spent most of my summers going to Universal. It's funny, I'm looking at a Universal poster right across from me. It's right next to my bed. But every summer since I was 5, I went to Universal with my mom's side of the family. So we kind of grew up going there. And I'm more accustomed to the rides there, and I guess just the quality of the rides too. So whenever I end up going to a carnival or Six Flags or any other theme park, I don't know, I feel it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so we went to Fun Spot, not expecting to have that much fun, but holy shit, man, the roller coaster we sat on, White Lightning, was amazing. It felt like, okay, I really do like the thrill of roller coasters. I don't think I've ever in my life have been scared of riding them. In fact, I used to find it relaxing, but I don't know. Because it was a wooden roller coaster, there was that sense of thrill. Um, the thrill of, I thought my phone was gonna, because it's still on a Stanley cup, I thought it was gonna lean over. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I just thought like it was the thrill of like the lack of safety because it's a wooden roller coaster, but that was still fun. It was really cool. Yeah, and then we sat on this flyer ride, but it's a roller coaster where the top of it is hooked to the tracks, so you're kind of just dangling. Still really cool, really fun. And we just walked around. When I was a kid, I did also go to Fun Spot, so it was super nostalgic, and I find it's really impressive that they still had the the original park, but how they expanded it was pretty unique because you could see fragments of the old park, but around it are new rides, new places, new the food carts and stuff. It's rebranded, you know. So it was a good time. And then my favorite thing, I'm a huge fan of familiarity. That's almost an issue with me. I choose to hang around people I'm very familiar with. I choose to go places I'm very familiar with, and I have the tendency to break out of that threshold, and because it's typically rewarding, but my little heart craves familiarity. So it was really cool to hang with my cousin because, you know, we grew up like, you know, basically with each other. We know each other's lives, and it's nice that we just, you know, end up talking a bunch and sharing things, and we kind of have the same sense of humor. She has a sibling, but they have an age gap, so she kind of grew up an only child, and we have some, I don't know, tendencies that are very similar to each other. I don't know, it's just fun. But yes, that was my day. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The night before that, I stayed up till 7 a.m. writing, and then the day before that, I stayed up very late writing as well. I'm working on another rewrite for the script that I have going. But then yesterday I spent my evening at Austin's Coffee. I attended poetry night, and honestly, it's become a thing where every now and then I'll be compelled to go on stage. Other than that, I kind of just hang with my friends. So still, it's a thing. You know, I think it's cute in a way. Um, what else? Well, you know, I was just pointing at my poster in my room, and I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of decoration in my room, and that's intentional. Um, when I was in high school, and even when I was a kid, I would put up a lot of stuff. I would draw on the walls, paint on the walls, put paintings up, put posters up. If I can find a picture of my old room, I'll put it up there. But I had a bunch of stuff, and it was super hippie. It was super, I don't know, very Tumblr-esque. I remember there was a picture of me in my room in high school, and I'm literally wearing an Obey sweater. And I don't know, I had like there's like this weird flamingo color wheel, and oh my god, this is, oh god, this is so stupid. But my rendition, or my interpretation of the period piece, was on next to the color wheel. But what it was, the Blue Period by Picasso, it was just, I printed out the blue period, but then I taped it to pads, and then I put the pads on the wall. I don't know. And then when I was a kid, my dad had someone put up like dolphin wallpaper. Literally, like, I just want to be part of your, oh my god, I spat so much. I just want to be part of your symphony meme. Like, that's what it was in my room. But dolphin wallpaper is like, I'm in an aquarium, and then he had the ceiling painted as the sky, like daylight, like that mall in Vegas. And then I had a little solar system hooked up in my room as well. So it was really, my room was sick when I was a kid. It was awesome. And then in high school, yeah, I put up a lot of posters, paintings, and was like super into, like, that's when I discovered my taste in music. Of course, it's evolved over time. Yes, that's when I discovered my taste in music. All because of a crusty crush I had on a kid. I was like 16, and I had a crush on some guy who listened to all the like 70s bands and stuff. And I remember he like mentioned he liked like Led Zeppelin and Pearl Jam and stuff, and then Pearl Jam just became like a pillar of in like the taste of music that I have. I became a huge Pearl Jam fan. But then and really, it was a genuine thing too. I liked their music because I remember in high school when he had mentioned a song by Pearl Jam, I put it on while taking the bus home, and it was around like springtime. So beautiful up in Jersey, because it's just, it is called the Garden State for a reason. There's so much greenery, and I remember just like rays of sunlight peering through trees, and then as you're going through the towns, and where I lived was very like Americana, very small town vibes. I was playing Release by Pearl Jam. And it was so cathartic. And I don't know whether this is a symptom of OCD, or like special OCD, or maybe a hit with like, or maybe the tism or something. But I have this like this label, a way to organize music. It's just music that has certain melody, and it makes me feel something. I feel something in a very cathartic, climactic way. And Release happened to be one of them. And I have this thing where I do not share my favorite song with anybody. Yeah, maybe like maybe 3 people in my life know, and scattered. Like, it's not just, I just don't really say it. And that's, I don't know what that is a symptom of, but I do not like to let people in my bubble. So like, my theory is like, if I'm playing it, the song, that means I'm having a really special moment. I'm really happy. I am really at peace. And I don't want someone else to know that and disrupt it. I want to be in my bubble. And anyway, at the time, it's not my favorite song anymore, so I'm comfortable with saying it, but Release was, and it was such a beautiful moment. I kind of fell in love with the band, and um, yeah, they're so, oh my God, like I went through their entire discography and even bought their CDs, and I just became such a big fan of them. And from that, I was introduced to the alt rock scene. Learned about Nirvana and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Smashing Pumpkins. And then then I permeated through different eras of rock. One I was originally introduced to this genre from by my dad, not alt rock in particular, but I wouldn't I think you can give it that blanketed statement of classic rock, but they're niche, they're subgenres to these bands, but like, you know, Led Zeppelin and Queensryche and what is it, Black Sabbath. I know those are different genres, or Whitesnake, whatever. Anyway, I was introduced very early, and I remember like the two songs I particularly remember when I was like in second grade, um Creep by Radiohead. It's just, these are like very vivid memories for me. And then Still the Night by Whitesnake. And for me, that is like the top rock song for me. I love that song so much. It's pretty sick. I don't know. But I hate sharing these things with, I don't even fucking care. I don't care if I sound like a misandrist or whatever, but I do not like sharing my interest in cars and that genre of music with men, because for some reason I just don't want to appear as if I'm appeasing men, or like I just don't want to relate. I don't want to fucking relate. I don't want to talk about it. But sorry, that was really passionate. But anyway, yeah. So in high school I was kind of more introduced to alt rock, and that's where I also found Alabama Shakes, something Graves or something, and then definitely Tame Impala. Big fan of Tame Impala. Another one of those moments where it's like, oh, so cathartic. I'm on the bus, I feel like the adrenaline or something. It was something, but it was the song Desire Be, Desire Go. So freaking good. And I remember that like the song Feels Like We Only Go Backwards was like the big one, the mainstream one. So if you say it's like you're not a real fan, it's funny because like now when people talk about Tame Impala, they've had so many hits over the years that song is niche now, you know? Anyway, and oh my God, I forgot to mention, but since we're talking about music, in the 8th grade, in the 7th grade, I was introduced to Odd Future and didn't really take interest in them. Then in 8th grade, I found Tyler the Creator, learned about Odd Future, got really into it, got really into the OF merch, got really into just the music of other artists in that group, like Sid and of course Frank Ocean, and then is it Domo Genesis and all that. Yeah. It's really about it back then, and really because what Tyler stood for at the time. And there is a debate over his music, of course, and I certainly give credence to the reason why there's a controversy, because of there are certain lyrics that are fucked up. But nevertheless, what he stood for at the time, and he just shedding light on the community that was regarded as like the weirdos, the nerds, or you know, the kids that sit in the back of the class and you know are misunderstood and never really heard. He stood for them and gave them kind of a platform to be themselves. And yeah, I don't know, I just really resonated with it when I was in the 8th grade, because that was when I decided I wanted to be a screenwriter. So it just kind of went hand in hand for me. He became like a role model, genuinely, when I was a kid. So, oh my God. And to this day, I still think if I were to meet Tyler the Creator, I would be really nervous. He has one of those personalities that is so dominating and so big and so has so much energy. It's not like he's energetic anymore, or you know, the way he used to be when he was, you know, part of Odd Future, when he came out with Wolf and Goblin. Or when he was part of Loiter Squad, you know, or when he did Loiter Squad. But it's different. Of course, he's matured plenty. It's just still like, you know, like there is this this energy to him and this gravity. And I feel like no matter how, whatever I feel about my personality and what I do admire about myself, or the extrovertedness, or the whatever quirks or idiosyncrasies I have, I just feel like it's just, I cannot measure. It's such a, I don't know. I guess I'm envisioning it too much, but I think I'd definitely be nervous meeting Tyler. So anyway, that is a quick little dive into my taste in music. But I guess the whole point I was trying to make is that I don't have a lot of decor in my room. I like to keep it minimalist. And there was a period, of course, where I had so much on my walls, and just painted everything, and just did whatever I could to make it cool. And I think I get that from my mom, because I was just telling my cousin that I am obsessed with her interior design. My mom is so creative. I mean, our old house, she just went all out, and I found it so artistic of her to have each room a different theme. Our like living room was white leather with white Persian rugs and blue crystals. Like, wow, lady, you know what you're. And our family room was like these green silk threaded couches and more golden decor. And then our kitchen, we had this big beautiful marble table, and my mom would be intricate about her choices. So like the my favorite thing about that table was like it was carved marble, and they'd carve out pieces of like flowers, groovy flowers, carve them and then replace them with other types of marble. So like the leaves would be a different color of marble, the petals as well. It was very, very beautiful. And she had a different and the seating was very unique too in our kitchen, because it wasn't chairs. They were like, it was like a couch almost, like a bench, and it was a different a color of leather. She just so cool. Anyway, so she's maximalist. She's maximalist, like major. And I don't know, over time I kind of became the opposite. So I try to not have any real representation of myself in my room, other than this shrine dedicated to the Oscars, because I'm gonna win. Best believe I'm gonna win an Oscar. So anyway, I have a shrine right there, and it's got a couple of Oscars, and there's a literal board that lights up, and it says, I won my Oscar. Right above it, I have a poster of Kurt Cobain, and right above that, I got a poster of Universal. And then I have this Oscar bag. It's like a tote bag, but it's literally Academy Award merch hanging on my headboard. And then just some little flowers over there and some fragrance, whatever. But it's just very minimal, and that's what I prefer. And it's interesting because I think it has a lot to do with my character. I have this suspicion that if you were to find me across the street, where's that line from? Everyone is normal across. I think that's from DTF St. Louis. Like everyone looks normal across the street, or something like that. I think if you'd see me from across the street, you would assume that there's no creative constituent to my personality. I think I just look very normal. And I don't know, I think I developed an adversity to aesthetic because I find it inauthentic. It's pretty harsh criticism. I think this is the first time I've ever given direct criticism on something, but it's certainly, I do feel this way. But that's just an issue with me. I don't know what it is. I have a preference for blank slate, because I think I think the true authenticity is intangible. So, and I like to believe, and I hate, and it really does come from this judgment, in my adolescence, that you judge people based on their cover, or you judge someone based, you get what I'm saying? And I would get so annoyed of judging the basic girl, the Stanley Cup and the scrunchie and the, whatever, you don't know who that person is underneath. You don't know how much personality or trauma or experiences they've had, or perspective. It's just, You don't know that, and you don't know whether the person who dons themselves with just like, I guess, I don't know, with like quirky fashion or something like that might just be completely an empty shell of a person, I don't know. So I developed an aversion over time, and really I think it stems from this cringe I have towards myself when I was young, because I tried really hard to prove that I am creative. I mean, to the embarrassing point where I started wearing like bandanas to school. Why? 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 Yeah, I did. And just like tie-dye and pajamas and, I don't know, all that stuff. But and I don't mean to cast any judgment or make any accusations towards anybody with a certain aesthetic or style. I truly do believe in the diversity of how we choose to express ourselves, and I'm sure it stands for something. It has to represent some part of you, which is what you want to communicate to the world, and I'm not against that. I just think sometimes we go too far in this day and age, and with the level of consumerism and this hyperactive or high-end, late stage, whatever you want to fucking call it, capitalism, we just kind of shop for our identity, instead of developing it yourself, and I don't know, I might just end up repeating it again just to clarify it better, but it's, I don't know, like, I think like that's kind of like the world we weirdly live in, where you just are so invested in how you are perceived that you forget to work on what really matters, which is who you are on the inside. That isn't to ever say, don't don't do what makes you feel good about yourself, like all of that, at the end of the day, like I make an attempt and an effort to be effeminate, or more girly now, and I love makeup. I love wearing makeup, and I love dressing a certain way. I love having my nails done, my highlights done, and all that good stuff, so I don't know what message I'm psychologically trying to send there, or whatever it may be, but and I'm learning as I go. I just think I feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, how long have I been talking for? Jesus. I just think I feel uncomfortable stating a direct opinion for the first time, but this is just food for thought, I guess. It's just something I think about, and I think there is some weight to it, some logic to it, kind of. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I've spoken enough, but thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, rest of your week, and I will see you real soon. Bye.